What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Band of Brothers, episode 9. It's the penultimate episode. We are coming down to the end of this absolutely epic and amazing series.
I do love this show very much.
It has just been such a journey and such a great learning experience. And, you know, I appreciate all y'all, and literally learning experience, because I have learned so much about everything that we've watched in this show. And you guys help a lot too, because at the end, when Lip was getting promoted, like, I personally didn't really understand how you go from enlisted soldier to officer. Like, that is one of the things that I didn't understand. I didn't realize that you get honorably discharged as a soldier, and then you have to be re-enlisted as an officer. Yeah, like, I had no idea that
cool,
yeah.
Though.
Like, you just hear discharge, whether it's honorable, dishonor, like, regardless of what it is. That always instantly in my brain's like, oh, you're done.
That's what I thought. That's what I was like, wait a minute, he's going home? I didn't know that you could do that in the middle of the war. I
really had no idea that you had to honorably discharge a soldier who's enlisted and then promote them and enlist them as an officer. That's awesome, and Lip deserves it, because this dude has been awesome. When Winters got promoted and essentially removed from the field, he really did an amazing job stepping up and being that morale and being that leader that they needed. Because, you know, as we even saw in that last episode, Winters is an amazing leader, and it's a lot to kind of try to fill those shoes. But I feel like Lip did a really great job, and I feel like based off of what Spears said a couple episodes ago, being about like, yeah, you're the leader, you're the guy who's been leading them. It's just great to see that. And speaking about how great of a leader Winters is, you saw it last episode, like we kind of just mentioned, how they were supposed to go on these patrols. They went on one. It ended up being so crazy and chaotic, and, you know, they lost a man, but it was still labeled as successful, which in such a quick turnaround of a mission, like, that's not successful. Like, that's horrible and scary. And the fact that they lost it, like, even Winters later was just like, yeah, successful. And because it was labeled as a successful mission, they wanted to do another one exactly the same, where they had to actually go a little farther into town. And Winters is like, yeah, sure thing. You guys are going to sleep in all night. We'll make sure to send a report that they didn't capture any German soldiers and they weren't able to get anything else. And that's just really goes to show how amazing of a leader Winters is, because he saw the look on his guys' faces. They didn't want to go do it again. The end. They keep talking about the end of the war. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. Why do we got to keep doing these patrols? And it's just another one of those really powerful episodes, and really goes to solidify how amazing Winters is. And, you know, after editing and reading some of your comments and this and that, I do kind of think we did give Webster a little bit of a hard time, but within the context of this specific episode and the way it was produced and the way he kind of came in really hot and just coming in asking questions about where's this dude and where's this and what happened here, and like, you could just tell by the look on these dudes' faces where it's like, read the room a little bit. Yeah. And maybe, like, when you realize things haven't gone so great, don't keep asking about where somebody, like, that's the reason we reacted the way we did. We ended up, like, once he got accepted back in and did all the missions and did all this stuff, like, it was fine.
It's all fine now, but yeah, like, that's how I gauge how I feel about somebody, is how does everybody else, that's probably like a bad way to, like, see people.
It was produced that way, and it was shown to us that way.
When I'm watching a show, how the other actors or characters react to a certain person joining their crew or their team or whatever, that's how I gauge how I feel about that person or character. We obviously don't have like a full in-depth history lesson on Webb as a soldier, but just the way he came in, the reaction that he got when he returned, and they were giving him a hard time. Yeah. And all that stuff. And, you know, I never want to talk down to any soldier ever. But it's just, you know, talking about it within the context of this singular episode, that's kind of just what we thought. And even watching it back, like, you could tell, like, it was awkward and uncomfortable. But again, like, we gave him a little bit of a hard time, which, you know, it's just the way it goes with kind of how we're first time watching, first time reacting, and kind of just our initial thoughts. And look, if the guys welcomed him back and were like, oh, hey, Webb, what up? Like, it would have been completely different. But the fact that they were down
and they had lost a lot of folks, and talking about guys who had their legs blown off, and where's he, and he's home, and he died, and this is like it's just brutal that he missed one of the most intense parts of this war, and his guys were there and just showing up with a big smile on his face, looking clean and all that stuff. You know, that's why we gave him a hard time. But again, that kind of went away at the end when they embraced him, they brought him back, and he did his job. So,
and he's 10,000% more brave than us jerks over here.
For sure. 100%. Putting his life on the line, just like all the other soldiers.
I'm sitting on a couch watching the show, man.
Appreciate everyone who has put their lives on the line and everyone who has lost their lives fighting for our country and our safety and our freedoms. So yeah, we love our soldiers. And it always feels a little bad criticizing any of them, but again, it's the way that it's produced, and it's like the way we're being shown this. So penultimate episode, episode 9, Band of Brothers.
Yep.
You ready to check it out?
Yep.
Let's go.
Everybody was happy to see the war coming to an end, and the Germans didn't really have that much of a heart for it, and they realized that the end was there.
They used to say only good crowd is a dead one. Most of them were kids. We all were kids.
They had a job to do the same way as me. We went about and did the job that we had to do.
I think we thought that the Germans were probably the evilest people in the world, but as the war went along, we found out also that it wasn't the Germans per se.
A lot of those soldiers, I've thought about this often. That man and I might have been good friends. We might have had a lot in common. We might have liked to fish, you know, he might have liked to hunt. You never know. Of course, they were doing what they were supposed to do, and I was trying to do what I was supposed to do. Under different circumstances, we might have been good friends.
It's like,
I think about that like all the time. Like,
soldiers.
somebody's being told what to do, and they're just trying to do what they are being told to do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's bigger people at play sending down the folks that, you know, do the dirty work, basically.
I mean,
and it's like they're just trying to do what they're told.
And they're kids, like they said.
They're all kids. They're all a bunch of kids.
I'm sure it's the exact same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
It's like
They're being told that, you know, these people are all evil, and, you know, yeah, it's yeah.
It's definitely something that, like, I mean, obviously it has, especially this specific war has its evil element to it.
100%.
But it's not, like, they even said it, like, the soldiers who fought in this war were like, it's not everyone. We could have been friends.
Yeah,
like,
but that's the thing. It's not everyone. There's a lot of bad. Don't get me wrong. But, you know.
You never know. It's crazy. Just rubble. People's homes.
Yeah.
Tell you one thing about the Krauts, she'll clean up good.
Yeah. All he needs is a little Mozart. That's Beethoven.
Ooh, what's that look on his face?
Thanks. You're welcome, sir.
He looks
very
pretty
upset.
pissed off.
Yeah.
Making combat jumps with the 17th. I'm in supply briefings all morning.
Yeah, lucky me.
No, congratulations. You're probably the only man in the 101st with 3 combat stars over his jump wings.
Not bad for someone who's never fired his weapon in combat, huh?
Really, you've never?
Nope.
Not even with all the action we've seen?
Not around.
Wow.
How'd it go this morning?
It was great. Fantastic.
Uh-oh.
Took a direct hit over the drop zone. I got out. 2 others got out.
The rest of the boys?
Oh, they blew up over Germany somewhere. Boom.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But what?
Well, tough situation.
Oh,
for
yeah,
you.
the boys. Yeah. It's terrible. Oh, well, it wasn't me.
Shit.
You know, the real tragedy is they also lost their CO, so guess who gets to write all the letters home?
Oh, shit.
Got a visit from Colonel Sink this morning.
And how is the good colonel?
Concerned? Still drinking nothing but the VAT 69, huh?
Well, the finest for Mrs. Nixon's baby boy.
Sink is transferring you back down to Battalion S3.
What do you think I should write to these parents, Dick?
Hear what I said, Nix? You've been demoted.
Yeah, demoted, got you. Because I don't know how to tell them their kids never even made it out of the goddamn plane.
You tell them what you always tell them. Their sons died as heroes.
You really still believe that?
Yeah.
This is rough.
Oh no. That's fucking terrible.
Hey, O'Brien, relax, would you? I'm trying to read. It's O'Keefe. Patrick O'Keefe. My friends call me Patty. Hey, O'Brien, shut up. I told you, it's O'Keefe. Do you know why no one remembers your name? It's because no one wants to remember your name. Too many Smiths, D'Amatos, and O'Keefes, and O'Briens who show up here replacing Toccoa men. That you dumb replacements got killed in the first place. And they're all like you. They're all piss and vinegar. Where the crowd's at. When do I get to jump into Berlin? 2 days later, there they are, with their blood and guts hanging out. And they're screaming for a medic, begging for their goddamn mother. Do you understand that this is the best part of fucking war I've seen? Germany is almost as good as being home. So quit asking about when you're gonna see some action, will you? And stop with the fucking love songs.
He's been through a lot. I get it.
When you ship out? A few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Been 2 years since I seen home. 2 years. It's fucking war.
Damn.
Check out the embankment on the far side. President's dead. $2. God damn it. I'll tell you something. Go ahead and deal me out of the next hand. What about your money?
Are we waiting on him again?
Yep.
I'm very concerned for him.
I'm extremely, yes. What is going to happen right now as he walks outside? He's dealing with a lot himself. He just watched, you know, an entire group of young men, like, not even make it out of a plane, he said. Like, the... Okay.
Dude.
Jesus Christ, the dog? Kath is divorcing me. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
In a letter?
We can't hold off on this, you guys?
She's taking the dog? Not even her dog. It's my dog! She's taking my dog!
I feel so bad for these guys. Did people back home just not take this serious or something?
Nick's had his chance to go home too, huh? Not that long ago. Didn't he pass that opportunity off to someone else?
Yes, they gave it to the guy that everybody was like, you need to go.
Yeah. I mean, as hard as it has to be to have your significant other gone for years, they're fighting a damn war.
Right. We can't just like chill.
As if he's not, like, obviously his wife has no idea what he's actually dealing with. But, like, that's so insane.
He hates that dog!
Like, and then it puts him, I mean, not only was he already in a bad mindset, but, like, now he's in the worst one. I'm sure there's a ton of shit going on at home, too, but, like, can we just wait?
I couldn't imagine putting that in a letter while, like, you're off fighting a war here, I'm going to divorce you
And take your
in
dog.
a letter.
Janovic, what you reading?
An article.
No shit. What's it about?
It's about why we're fighting the war.
Why are we fighting the war, Janovic?
It seems that the Germans are bad. Very bad.
You don't say. Hey, Frank, this guy's reading an article over here that says the Germans are bad.
You're now entering enemy territory. Keep on alert.
You've got 4 minutes!
They're just kids. Come.
That's brutal. Jeez.
Even in defeat, they still know how to march with pride. Hey, you! That's right! You stupid crowd bastards! That's right! You stupid fascist pigs!
Dragging our asses halfway around the world, interrupting our lives
For what? You ignorant, servile scum! What the fuck are we doing here?
We need some Lipton here, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. They've been away from home for years. It's a lot. And I don't agree with pulling children out of their homes.
Oh.
Oh God.
Hey, George. Kind of remind you of Bastogne.
Except, of course, there's no snow. We got warm grub in our bellies. And the trees aren't fucking exploding from crowd artillery. But yeah, other than that, it's a lot like Bastogne.
Oh, shit.
Oh, smack him for me, please.
Hello?
Shit.
It's definitely not a good look.
Yeah.
Of course he had to see a dog.
This makes me so nervous.
The fuck?
Wait, what? What the hell happened?
We found something. Oh, we on a patrol.
Frank, what is it?
I don't know, sir.
The fuck is that?
I only saw the glimpse of it. What? Is this a concentration camp?
Open it up. Dick?
Pomozite, molim vas, pomozite, još je živ, još ga možete spasiti.
You said the guards left this morning, sir.
Kannten Sie aber einige von diesen
Langsam bitte, langsam. They burned some of the huts first. Well, the prisoner's still in them, sir. Alive. Some of the prisoners that try to stop him.
Sie wurden getötet. Sie wurden ganz
Some of them were killed. They didn't have enough ammo for all the prisoners, so they killed as many as they could.
Und dann verließen sie einfach das Lager.
Before they left the camp.
Und gingen
Locked the
Richtung
gates
Süden.
behind them and headed south.
Ask him what kind of camp this is.
He says it's a work camp for Brunnen Wunstrom. I'm not sure what the word means, sir. Unwanted, disliked, maybe.
Criminals?
I don't think criminals, sir.
Ärzte, Musiker, Beamte, Bauern,
Doctors, musicians,
Schreiber, Schneider,
tailors,
Intellektuelle,
clerks, common people.
Juden.
Jews.
Polen, Zigeuner. Bahnstation dort hinten.
Wie bitte? Was sagen Sie?
Das ist das Frauenlager bei der nächsten Bahnstation.
The women's camp is at the next railroad stop.
Look at their arms.
Like cattle.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that is terrible. They're starving.
We need to stop giving these men food right now. They're starving. We give them too much to eat too quickly, they'll eat themselves to death. We need to keep them in the camp till we can find a place for them in town.
You want us to lock these people back up? We got no choice, Nick.
Otherwise, they might scatter. We need to keep them centralized so we can supervise their food intake and medical treatment until we find some place better.
I mean, right? That can happen, right? They'll end up hurting themselves if they eat too much too fast.
You don't want them wandering, that's for sure.
They're weak.
And imagine to be the fucking translator, like.
I know. How do you say, I know you're starving? To literal death. Can't have any more.
Sie müssen wieder ins Lager zurück. Es ist nur für eine kurze Zeit. Damit wir mit richtigem Messer ziehen Sie wieder ins Lager.
Wo kommen die her und schicken uns wieder zurück?
Heard from Division. Been finding camps like this all over the place. Seems the Russians liberated one a lot worse. 10 times as big. Execution chambers, ovens. For cremating all the bodies.
Locals claim that they never even knew the camp existed. They say we're exaggerating.
Well, they're gonna have a hell of an education tomorrow. General Taylor declared martial law about an hour ago. Ordered every able-bodied German in town aged 14 to 80 to start burying the bodies. That'll begin in the morning. 10th Armored are gonna supervise the cleanup.
What about us?
In the house.
Who had the picture of a Nazi?
Hitler's dead.
Holy shit.
Shot himself in Berlin.
Oh, you fucking coward, you little bitch.
Should have killed himself 3 years ago. Saved us a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he should have.
What a piece of shit.
But he didn't.
All those people. A final solution. $5 million and $6 million. Million. 5 million, 6 million.
The Holocaust. I knew what this like war and everything was about.
Right.
And I knew they were entering Germany based off of what we were told in the last episode. I didn't even think we were going to encounter concentration camps.
Concentration camps, death camps.
That was, I can't even put into word, like, it was one of the worst things I had ever seen, ever. And it was a very real part of this, which it's just impossible to put into words what feelings I have after watching that episode, besides just the greatest sadness of what happened to all those people, because one man thought people didn't fit the right image or look.
Which is just crazy to me because he wasn't. He wasn't in the image that he wanted, right? He wanted blonde hair, blue-eyed. But he was neither.
It's just, I've seen Schindler's List. It's been a very, very, very long time since I've seen it.
I couldn't watch that. I did not watch that.
I mean, seeing that and just like the hope when they were like grabbing on the soldiers and hugging the soldiers, and like one of them came up and kissed the soldier, like the idea that like, oh my God, we're saved. And just seeing the bodies and just seeing how sick they all were. It just...
They're literal skin and bone.
That was...
Just because.
They were different. I mean, you can't even put into words how wrong that is. And like, again, it's one of those things where it didn't cross my mind that we would enter that.
No, I wasn't sure what we would see. I wasn't sure what they would show.
I mean,
I'm grateful that they showed it.
Right. Again, it's an important thing to experience, and this show continues to be an amazing piece of education.
Yeah.
And
I mean, because we learned about all this stuff in school, but then it never crosses your mind again.
Reading it as a child, essentially, and being taught as from a teacher that you don't want to listen to is so different than watching it in, and this is a TV show, but they do such an amazing job making everything feel real. And experiencing this as an adult is so much more impactful than anything that could be told to me, even in college. As like, come on, we're not in a proper mental or even maturity state learning this in high school or college to have it even resonate with the proper level of impact. And now all these, because this
feel like
was
they
taught.
don't go over it enough.
Well, and it's reading it in a textbook and being told what happened is so much different than seeing it play out. And again, I've said it since the beginning, since episode 1 of this show. The way it's filmed, the way it's directed, the way like the acting is done, it feels very much like a documentary style piece of content. And that was such an impactful episode. It hit so hard, and it's one of those things that is just so unimaginable. And it's like, even reading it in a textbook or any of that stuff, seeing it play out like that is just, it's stuff that we definitely should never, ever, ever forget and need to constantly be reminded, and be nice to each other and accept people who are different than you, and just people. We're all people.
Yeah.
Like,
stop treating each other badly.
Yeah. It's just so insane how you could look at someone who might be a little different than you and immediately have a feeling of negativity towards them just because of that. It's just...
What gives you that right?
It's just
what
hard.
gives you that right to treat anybody as if you are better than them?
Yeah.
We're not better than anybody.
It's tough. It's so tough. And yeah, I mean, there isn't a whole lot else to say. Just try to love everybody. I mean, experiencing that and seeing, like, I'm sweating, like, it's not because it's hot. I'm like sweating just because of, when I get emotional, that's what happens to me. I sweat.
I cry, you sweat.
And it's just, yeah, it's one of those things where it's hard to watch, but at the same time, there's a level of gratitude and being grateful that we're experiencing this through this show.
I'm very grateful.
So, one more episode to go.
I'm very sorry.
Oh, I mean,
I'm so sorry.
I don't even know if those type of words even, like, what is the right even word to say,
Yeah.
All the people that went through that and still suffering from all that and everything. It's just, yeah. Just.
Okay.
All right. Any other thoughts?
No.
All right, y'all. We'll see you later. Bye.